A
I
blunt. I don't think
smoking.
he's smoking blunts. Come on, guys.
You think he's
Or
rolling a
a joint.
Philly?
A clean joint. He's not rolling no Phillies.
clean
Or
joint.
maybe he has
Yo,
like
Barry O
t-shirts.
still rolls a zigzag. Yo,
Stop
your man
this.
Barry O
Nah.
rolls a zigzag, B.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have locked into Rap Life. We're going to talk to Low Key. We're going to talk to Nadeska. What are the most important conversations that are going on in hip hop right now, as well as run through some of the hottest songs on the playlist. So y'all keep it locked right here. This is Rap Life.
Let's start with those new albums. IDK, listen. His second album, you see for yourself. IDK, I want to send a message to you. You have put together a great piece of art here, sir. This album is phenomenal. He's got Young Thug. He's got Offset on there, 17 other tracks. It's an amazing project. Definitely go check it if you're a hip-hop fan and a music fan, that IDK album. And then Vince Staples put out an album titled Vince Staples. Phenomenal project. Lo, you're really a fan of this one too.
Yeah, I was listening to it this morning. Like we were talking about before we got on air, it's very, very moody, very dark. The tempo of the album is pretty calm. One of my favorite records is The Trips. I think it's called Taking Trips or something like that. But it's really reflective. Not too much, flashiness. But he's not that type of artist. But it's really, really reflective. Really like deep down, just talking to himself, trying to figure himself out. I like it. I'm still deep diving into it, but yeah, it's very, very deep, very, very moody.
Yeah. Agreed.
Now, Nadeska, Vince Staples, I think you agree, is one of our favorite human beings.
Period. One of the smartest, funniest dudes ever. And I mean, in his music, we're always expecting him to reflect on, some of the difficulties he's been through growing up. But like Lo said, this album is a lot more mellow than I expected, right? Usually I feel like he has some really chill, moody songs, but then there's some just more louder in your face beats. But I think because you worked with Kenny Beats on this whole entire album, it feels a bit more uniform, I guess, but definitely more laid back than usual. But I also really enjoy it.
I would also say it's a good setup for at least the title, Ramona Park Broke My Heart. I heard that Vince Staples plans to drop another album this year, and it's called Ramona Park Broke My Heart, and which sounds also semi-emo. Which I think, this album, what is this, 10 tracks on this album?
But maybe like 10 or 11 tracks.
Yeah, so he kept it tight and focused, which is a good setup, I think, to drop another release this year. So shout to Vince Staples. One of the biggest stories last week was Lil Baby being arrested. The reason we're bringing it up this week is because I wanted to give everybody an update. I don't, often when rappers get arrested and things happen, we hear they got arrested, but we're never quite sure what played out after that. Lo, Nadeska, did you guys hear any details on Lil Baby's release and post-arrest shenanigans over in Paris?
I did see that the New England Patriots, the owner Robert Kraft, I think he flew him out from Paris and got him to his show in Indianapolis, wherever his show was. But the Patriots flew him back from Paris.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's the only thing I saw after that. I don't know what the connection is. I don't know why that happened. I guess maybe during that July 4th party they got together and had some conversations. But I guess that friendship extended to help him get out of his legal troubles, and I guess he's home safe now.
I always wonder what kind of conversations rappers have with Robert Kraft. Like, we know him and Mika Cool, but what does he and Lil Baby talk about at a 4th of July party?
Money, women. Look, Robert Kraft continues to lean into these relationships with rappers in good ways. Many, like with the work he's doing with Meek Mill and the Reform Alliance and being a part of those things and changing laws with regard to some of this stuff. But also, too, I think it should be noted that Robert Kraft just likes being at them parties. Let's keep it 100. Robert Kraft likes being at these parties, and I think in many ways it gives him a little bit of credibility with the people who play on his teams too.
Shout out to Robert Kraft, but I don't know why anyone's still getting arrested for weed at this point. To me, it's just so ridiculous. But I guess it's going to take
France.
some time till.
Y'all know how I feel about that type of but
What can you do?
Well, it's France. It's France, and they have apparently France has some of the most restrictive or strict marijuana laws in all of Europe.
Which is strange because they're also known for being pretty liberal in terms of just other ways that they live their life. But like you said, it'll take a few more years, but it's cool. We'll see a few more of these headlines, but as long as no one's really spending any time behind bars for this, it's all good.
Listen, don't get me talking about France and black people.
Okay,
because I could do a whole. We could do a whole.
That's not what I meant. I just meant their liberal, sexual lifestyles, etc. I didn't mean that.
Listen, y'all know marijuana laws are very tough on black and brown people. And so I gather that the reason France has strict marijuana laws isn't because of the rich white people smoking weed. But in other news, Barack Obama, the summer playlist. Now you say, why is this important, Ebro? Why are you bringing this up? Because every year Barack Obama puts out this goddamn playlist, and I'm a Barack Obama fan. But I don't believe that he's listening to these records, bro.
Oh,
he didn't put these
kids?
songs on here. I think it's Sasha and Malia telling him what's popping. Maybe there's a couple of the older songs on there are probably his, but his playlist is songs being suggested by his daughters. I think Michelle Obama's musical tastes are cooler than Barack's, for sure.
Why are you hating on him so hard? You feel like Robert Kraft is cool enough to be fraternizing with Lil Baby, but we're doubting that Barack is listening to this music?
Well,
I'm kind of on Ebro's side.
Robert Kraft is showing improving. He's at the parties.
Okay, you got me.
Barry O ain't showing up to the Migos concert.
Nobody wants Secret Service at the concert or at the Hamptons party 4th of July, Ebro. In his defense. But carry on, Lo, you were saying.
It's also like, why is he listening to Desperado?
That's a great question.
Why is he listening to Wants and Needs?
Oh, man.
Like
Wants and Needs, I actually believe because it was a hit song. You know what I'm saying?
Like Louis Armstrong, Miles Davis, Stevie Wonder. I could see him cleaning the crib to all of those songs. My man, I don't really know why you're listening to Allure. Like if it was like Family Feud from 444, then it's like, okay, that might. Yeah,
like I actually would believe Barry O listening to a Hove record.
You guys are trying to put Barry O in a box. I have to say, I was surprised to see Protege on here. This record, Switch It Up with Coffee, I really like. That came out of left field for me. But yeah, there's some of these songs, like the older ones, I don't know. But I'm going to give him credit and say he picked at least 5 of these
50%? 5?
I'll give him 5? That's it?
10? How many songs are on this playlist? I'm looking at it, but I can't count.
Wait, so you're basically saying the same me and Lo is saying without saying it, just because you caping for your bro Barry O.
I just kind of feel like trolling. Do I have to make sense on this week? I don't feel like I do. But you're right. You're probably right. Sasha and Malia probably picked a few of these joints.
Good playlist, Barry O. Shout to Barry O. Now, here's another question. Barry O's he was known to be a weed smoker back in college. Do you think retired President Barry O is sparking up every now and then?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a fucking doubt. I know he's in his office after some office days. Sparks.
Office? He's not in the office. He's sitting in the backyard.
No, his little office in his crib turns on.
Oh, at his crib. Yeah.
Turns on the Migos. Turns on straightening. Rolls up something real quick. Kicks back with a cognac. A nice fat blunt.
A blunt. I don't think he's smoking blunts. Come on, guys.
You think he's rolling a Philly?
A clean joint. He's not rolling no Phillies. Or maybe he has like
Barry O still rolls a zigzag. Your man Barry O rolls a zigzag, B. With the orange little zigzag. Remember the old school little orange pack with the little super small paper? That's Barry O rolling up a little.
You think he's taking edibles?
I don't know.
He might be edible guy. But he might put some drops in his tea. That's always nice. A little tincture, a little THC CBD blend. That's a nice way to like
a little CBD ting. Speaking of easing in, your man NLE Choppa announced on his Twitter account he's looking to become an herbalist. Speaking of herbs and tinctures. He said he's finna buy out my contract and become a full-time herbalist. Forget the music stuff. About to help my people. Let's go to Nadeska, who was very inspired by this tweet.
Inspired, huh? That's the word you're going to go with? All right. Well, look, if he can help me treat my insomnia with some flowers and herbs, I'm really with it. But he's talking about curing a lot of things here, man. Erectile dysfunction, STDs. Yeah. Like, allegedly, he said he helped someone cure cancer with it. Like, I just never know with him when he's just, like, doing too much. There's nothing wrong with being an herbalist if he's trying to really, like, pursue this full time. But if he has the cure that, doctors and scientists haven't been able to figure out for decades, then,
See, I'm glad you said it. People need to be real careful with the term cure because they gave it to one person and had some success. One individual, 3 individuals, some success with your herbs and your concoctions does not mean you found a cure.
I can't really tell if he's being serious. I can't tell if he's trolling. Because, like I said, like you just said, there's a lot of things on this list that have been around for a long time, and there have been no cures for it. So I don't know. All of a sudden, he drops out the sky as a medical expert. I mean, if he's doing the research to get these things cured or find cures or find better treatments, then, more power to him. But I don't know how serious to take this.
Do we want to try some things? I mean, what does he have for my insomnia? I'm on the website now, by the way. So he's selling chlorophyll for like $35. Sea moss, I don't know, I get that in Grenada for almost free. A bundle of it for $120. What does that cure? Is that the insomnia treatment? We might have to test some of this out.
Sea moss, I mean, if he's selling raw sea moss, there's a lot you got to do to it to make it digestible. So
somebody tried to send me sea moss this weekend. Just like came up to me with a bottle of it. I'm like, yeah,
that's so random.
Cool. Like, right. And it was like,
now sea moss is super popular out here now. So everybody's on that sea moss. So, if you'd like to know, sea moss has 92, I think, of the essential minerals that are essential to the human body. And if you want the other 8 minerals that are essential to the human body, there's a herb that also comes from the sea, or a plant that comes from the sea named bladderwrack. And if you take bladderwrack and sea moss together, you are getting, according to what they say, you're getting 100% of the nutrients that you need for your body. Straight from Mother Earth. If you
started a wellness brand, I would purchase items from you. You're well informed. I know you take your health seriously. You even have a great wellness announcer voice. Well, if you would like to know, these are the herbs that will... I love it. Why don't you...
Yeah, now see, if Ebro was selling some shit and he started tweeting stuff like this, that would make a little bit more sense to me. I'm like, you know what? Ebro is very proficient in the health.
NLE Choppa, though, I am proud, right, at his age... Whether, whether we believe him or not, or think that he will actually find a cure or not, the conversation at his age and his reach and the audience that he is consuming his music, I'm glad he's having a conversation.
I'll be watching his tweets real closely to see, the progress and see what he's doing.
Maybe he feels like the music is too toxic to his energy sources. And what he's developed his rap brand about, which is a lot of gun talk, a lot of death talk, and his music is definitely not about health and wellness.
At all. Well, he's also selling sage on the website. He could just sage the studio and his spaces and, get a fresh, clean start in his music.
Shout to the young high school basketball phenom who had to deal last week with his mother being outed as being in a relationship with Drake. That's probably one of... Now, Lo, as a dude, if someone in your life was dating a famous rapper and your boys knew about it, would it be hard to go to basketball practice the next day?
What do you think? Yes, of course. It would be jokes on jokes. Every time the song came on in the locker room or in the club or in the car,
God.
they go look right at me. And then...
when you show up to basketball games, the teams that you're competing against is playing Drake in the warm-up line.
Ooh.
Talking shit. And now when the album comes out, you got to listen closly to see if he's referring to anything about your mother, saying some slick shit. So now it's like, it's done.
Yo, you know the nastiest part about this story? You know one of the nastiest parts about this story is, for the audience, Drake was a helicopter, like a traffic and weather, one of those traffic helicopter dudes, took a photo of what he thought was just a cute couple having a romantic dinner on the third baseline at Dodger Stadium.
Wait, he took the story?
That's how the story started.
I saw that, but I didn't realize this is the same person you guys were talking about. Okay.
Yeah, so the helicopter dudes flying over Dodger Stadium. On the third baseline, there's a couple having a romantic dinner. They got a bar and a waiter, and they're having a romantic. And he takes a photo and posts it on his Twitter like, oh, wow, this is cute. Like, boom, boom, boom. He didn't say it was Drake. He didn't say. People zoomed in and was like, yo, that's Drake and Amir's mom. What's going on? Yo, man, that's the nastiest part of the whole
we was talking about this on the podcast this weekend. I'm like, yo, bro, Drake has just like you money, right? So Drake can do and rent and buy pretty much anything he wants in the world. I don't understand what he thought was going to happen by going to Dodger Stadium when they're not playing and turning on all the lights and having a date on the third base. You could have rented out the Forum. You could have rented out Staples Center. You could have rented out where the Rams play. You chose Dodger Stadium in the busiest city in the world, knowing that these choppers stay in those skies. And you said, we'll be fine. No one's going to see us. Like, come on, man.
So you think this was planned? You think it was planned? You think it was planned? This is part of the... Is this album rollout? Is this album rollout?
Wow.
Everything is a rollout.
Okay.
Just like my man Ice would say, everything is a rollout. So I'm not going to be surprised. And like you said, in about 2, 3, 4 weeks, something drops out the sky because he said he's mixing it, or it's mixed and it's done.
The word is he was, at the McGregor... At the McGregor-Poirier fight over the weekend, a lot of people was out in Vegas. Drake was out in Vegas. People was outside this weekend. Dave Chappelle was in town. Like, it was all Vegas was going off. And everybody was talking about how, Drake was getting asked, at parties and things about Certified Lover Boy album. And he was like, look, the album's done. It's in the mixing stage. So we'll see. Rap Life Review. For Low and Nadeska, I'm Ebro. We're here every week doing this. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Add the playlist, Rap Life, available in Apple Music. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next week.
Peace.